frosted glass.
Woo! Here we are again, folks, with a special Death Curse Society. What day is this?
What the hell's going on? It's Sunday,
Where are
right?
we? Where
I
are
don't know,
we?
dude. Let me tell you real quick. I was at a ghost hunt last night, all night, dude, till 3 a.m. at this haunted asylum, and around the way here.
Nice.
I'm exhausted, but oh my god, do we have something special for you today?
Was that the one that starts with an E?
Eloise, yes.
Eloise?
Eloise.
Nice.
They made a movie about it, and there goes my internet. Are you kidding me?
Uh-oh. Well, good. You can hush for a minute, and I can get to the business of hand. Yeah, it's a special Death Curse Society today, folks. We are going to be graced with the presence of Giallo royalty. And I know Ziggy's excited. FaZe, we're giving him the day off. He bust his ass all week for us, so
yeah,
take a day off, FaZe. I see you in the comments. And Colonel is on assignment.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's just get into it.
Listen, hey,
do your thing.
This is a historical and just memorable moment here, so I've got to do this right. So bear with me, please.
Oh, Lord.
Per favore, benvenuto. Per favore, benvenuto. Ah, shit.
No,
you know what?
This is not, no.
No.
Bring in the professional.
Let's bring in the ringer.
Hey, good evening, Death Curse Society guys. How you doing? So tonight we have a special guest. Signori e signore, è con piacere che vi introduco una stella del cinema horror italiano, direttamente da quella villa accanto al cimitero di Lucio Fulci, la brava, simpatica, energetica Silvia Collatina. You can take it away, guys.
Yes.
All right, and here she is.
From
May I reply in Italian and say grazie, grazie, Angelo.
Yes, yeah. Angelo, obviously, he's very much responsible for a lot of these paintings behind
I
me.
know, I recognize him. I love his way of paintings and creating art for horror movies. He's a genius.
Yeah,
I really have a great consideration of him.
Oh yeah, and I told him you were coming on. If he was, he has class today to teach, or he was gonna step in and join us for a while. You know, so which would have been easier on us because then we said, Angelo, kind of translate maybe.
Yeah, probably. But we can do that.
We'll just take it nice and easy, and it's just welcome to Death Curse Society. We are Fulci fanatics over here, and like I told you in the very beginning of this, we just want nothing but to get more exposure to those films and that part of the world. Not everybody knows about it, you know, and we do our damnedest to try to get that word out there, but this is why we would bring someone like you on here just to help us, you know, figure it all out, this Giallo thing and why it's such a thing to horror. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we know Rick from the whole damn Enchilada pod has been really diving into Fulci and the Italian Giallo subgenre. I think he's bought like 6 or 7 Blu-rays just over the last like 2 months.
Oh, good.
So
he is going down the rabbit hole, as it were. He's seeing all of them. So it's great. You know, I mean, if we can help get that word out, that's what this is about. So I mean, for sure. So how are you doing? Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here and to represent Fulci, and my aim is this one. I mean, to keep on keeping his name alive, because you know there are not a lot of us yet. Lots of people is dead and are dead, unfortunately, and I am not. Or probably I am, and I don't know that because I'm a ghost, you know. But so proud of representing Lucio Fulci in Italy and especially abroad, in US, in Germany. We'll tell you later how he develops and how may I represent him better.
All right. I'll tell you what, we had Angelo give that wonderful greeting for us. And
yes, thank you.
I had him go ahead and do the first question for us today. And it's in English, though, so I'm going to throw them up here for the first question. Here we go.
So, Silvia, you had a very short childhood before you jumped into stardom with your career. So, can you tell us about that?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I started when I was 5, past 5, let's say precisely. But I was not in this genre. You know, I was just making other movies, theater, and advertising stuff like this. And then it happened that I had the chance of joining and doing acting for horror movies. So nowadays, people know that I am an horror actress, but I started differently. But I'm very proud of representing this genre because I love horror. I've always loved horror since I was very young. So for me, it has been a great pleasure to be part of horror movies. And I started like this. I had an agent, and she proposed me to. She introduced me to. They were searching for a little girl, and they made me a test, and it seems that it was okay because I did it. But not only House by the Cemetery, also others or movies, of course.
Yeah, you just said, I read that you used to watch all kinds of films with your parents and siblings, even including war. Were there some titles that you saw at that age that left an impression or maybe just scared you so bad that you would never forget them? I know The Exorcist comes up all the time, but
yes, I don't know in English the translation of the titles, but the trilogy of trilogy of terror.
Yes, with
yes, especially the one with the Zuni.
Yes.
With the Zuni. Oh my God, I was. We used to gather all together in the living room, and it was, like a party because we always loved watching horror movies. We loved horror. My family, my entire family. And I remember I was 6 years old, and my daddy was laughing. I wasn't. I said, "How can you do that? How you're not afraid, you're not upset, why can give me the secret?" I said, "You will understand when you grow up." And probably it was true because no horror movies makes me gives me that emotions I had when I was so young. And growing up I started managing this fear.
Mhm.
So Zuni was one of those because any kind of movie was terrifying me when I was young. Of course, I think.
Right. Same here.
Quite
though.
everyone.
Yeah,
You don't?
Same here.
I can guess.
That trilogy of terror.
Yeah.
Was stuck in my brain as one of the scariest moments of my childhood until years later when I was working at a video store and a sequel came out called Trilogy of Terror 2. And when I saw that, I was like, I've got to find the original on video and get that in here because we didn't have it at the store at the time. And watched it again years later. I don't know if it quite
it's not
holds
the
up.
same. I know. Because when you're young, you see things differently. And it's the first time you watch horror movies and they were new in let's say, as a new style, something new, that the plot was new. Now, if I was in love also with Friday the 13th and Halloween, but if I see them now, I realize that they're very slow, very slow. You say, okay, but they're masterpieces anyway.
Right.
Did your parents, did they explain to you at the time, like, okay, this like isn't real, it's they're pretending, anything like that? They just watch it and take their visceral
we let's say my family was sort of Adam's family, so we were in love with horror. My mother was let's say a white witch, and so So we were very weird and weird. What can I say? I always uh, I grew I grew up with horror. It was something normal. I don't know. We used to call people, come and see a horror movie with us. It was a pleasure. That's why I compare horror movies to something that I like, because I remember it reminds me of that times. So I cannot say horror is something that, no, it's something that gives me emotion because of my family.
Hmm.
We were fond of anything paranormal, strange stuff, strange seeds. We were very Cabin's family. Even stranger, even more addicted to horror. So it was natural for us to see horror movies, and I grew up with that idea.
Yeah,
I was the same way. My father would show us. I mean, we used to get like 8mm reels of film. They were silent and play them on a little Super 8 projector on our hallway on the wall. I remember being 4 or 5 years old like this, and I think it was like 1979. He took us to see Alien, and then 2 weeks
Alien,
later, Fulci's Zombie 2 released in the United States on a limited run. I was there, and that was
correct.
it. I was ruined for that point on. That's what got me
You
here.
know,
yeah, I know.
we witnessed that magical period. The late 70s and 80s. One of the best decade ever for horror movies, and also half 70s. Let's say up to 95. I
I'm
wouldn't go farther. I would say probably I would say some movies, but I'm in love with the 80s. Concern not only for horror movies, but also for disco music,
oh,
and that's why.
the whole thing is great. And
Yeah, anything.
I know that we were all at that age. We're a little more impressionable at this time, but yes, I'm the stuff. The good horror films do come few and far between now. I like that you get a good one every once in a while, but there is a whole lot of it's not scary. You're right about that for sure.
No, no, I don't have any. That's very sad. I need to be scared, but I don't find any movie that scares me
No.
as the old one did.
Yeah.
So that's very sad for me.
I have
I
to.
try to scare myself with something else. Going in places where not dangerous, but I love going to the basement without any light to feel goosebumps. Otherwise, I don't, because I want to be scared. I
Right.
want to be scared in this way. And I feed myself with horror, so I need to see something that, wow. I don't say wow anymore.
Well,
I would say I'm still entertained by horror films. I'm just not scared at them anymore. I mean,
now
That's it.
a jump scare that's different. I mean, they might give me a jump here and there in the modern day, but there's no more of that where I'm absolutely put off, like The Exorcist, where you're just
right.
oh my
The Exorcist.
oh yeah,
The Exorcist is my best, my reason of my reason of life forever, and there is no equal. I love it's my life. I live with that movie, and I'm very fond. It's over the top for me. The
Mhm.
Exorcist,
yeah.
because remember in Italy it was 1989, and well, it came, I think, I don't know, earlier, of course, but I remember I was on the bus and I was seeing some, old cinemas, and it was written The Exorcist, L'esorcista in Italian, L'esorcista, the translation, in
Hmm.
red. And I was just like this when I saw that label on the cinema, only seeing the color red and laser cheese. Oh my God. So when it has been released in 1989, they did a lot of advertisements and I think they did it in the right way, because you saw the mom, Reagan's mom, coming, listen to some noises.
Mhm.
And the first important scene when she opened the door and she saw Reagan and all the stuff going up and all the mess, toys wandering around, something like this. And they only put on TV only this. She opened the door and stopped. You see like this, and there were the titles here. This movie caused the death of lots of people and a heart attack and stuff. and waited for 1 month, I think, just that. So we were, oh my God, this one is the right one. So they create, let's say, this atmosphere. We were just waiting. We were very anxious. And it's one of the greatest.
You know what? I think Psycho, I think Night of the Living Dead, and I think The Exorcist. That was probably the last time they really could say. Maybe Jaws is in there too because of the whole thing.
One of the first, yeah.
But you can't do that anymore. The scariest thing ever filmed, the scariest movie you will ever see. You cannot say that anymore. It's already been.
You cannot say. They do. They keep on saying that, but just to say, you see that, and that's the scariest. Great.
But
no, they cannot say that anymore. I mean, who won't believe it?
No.
But they do. At least 3 movies a year use that tagline, and
when I hear that now,
us off.
I know, and it's going to be not. It's at all not going to be what they're saying it is. When they tell me it's the scariest thing I'm going to see this year,
I don't. only at the time, because they were new. It was something fresh, and the idea that the plot. Now we don't have anything new, so you don't have to say that it's the greatest. We don't believe it anymore. So we think that the greatest were in the past.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm
stuck in the past, and I'm proud of it.
Oh,
well,
yes.
I want to start with your career, at least. I want to start with The Great Alligator. During our research, that was one of the films I guess we both watched as a refresher. And was this? Do you think this film was inspired a little bit by Jaws and some of those creature features of that era?
Well, probably. I mean, it was the period of monster attacks. When a lot of horror movies dedicated, let's say, horror, wild animals attacking people. So it was jaws and piranhas, as you say, the fishes.
Yes,
the fishes. How do you say that? We say piranhas.
Yeah.
How do you say in English?
Piranha. Yep.
Piranha. Okay, piranha. We say piranha.
Same thing.
And or snakes or something, or I don't know, spiders. And so it was one of that genre. Otherwise, there were, the earthquakes period of all these movies, earthquakes and dangers and disasters, something like this. Period of the animals, period of houses, it was, and the 80s was dedicated to haunted houses or monster living in the houses. But previously animals, yes, and somehow probably in the line of that style, Sergio Martino released this movie, Fiume del Grande Caimano, the great. I don't know why I say alligator in Italian is caiman. Anyway, that kind of animal, And yes.
Well, kind of a silly question I have about The Great Alligator. Based on the climax, which would you rather have happened to you? Mauled by a giant alligator or shot in the stomach with a flaming arrow?
Me?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying we're going to do this to you, but just, like, if you had to choose.
Repeat the chances. Give me the chances.
Would you rather be mauled to death by a giant alligator or shot in the stomach by a flaming arrow?
The second one, probably.
You might have a
Probably
chance
the
with that
second,
one.
or even if they put me an arrow in the eye, I think that I will die suddenly. Probably that's better, because I don't know, inside the jaw of an alligator, you never know if you survive or not. And
Right.
the way you survive, it will be unpleasant for sure. So sudden death.
Okay.
See, now for an arrow in the eye, we would have had to employ the Fulci team to get that done, in that movie.
That's true.
Yes, probably yes. No, but the movie was danger in itself, because this during the Great Alligator, there were some of the scenes, the inner scenes, let's say, they were shot in a swimming pool with a fake, of course, animal, which was a puppet, a big,
Right.
a giant reproduction of an alligator, and one of the actresses nearly died because she was she was sinking. She was no sinking. So when you say down the water, she was she couldn't breathe,
Ooh.
and she was nearly to die because of it. Which was a little bit dangerous in itself. Yes.
I mean, that
So
movie, yes, this movie, it reminded me of the ones I used to watch. Like, we'd have the Saturday afternoon horror features on regular TV. They do a double feature, and this one looks like this style of movie has been made hundreds of times at that time, with the giant monster, all the natives running around, the cannibals and stuff like that. But that's what I felt like watching this movie. When you heard you were going to be auditioning for this, how did you feel about that? What was your feeling knowing that you were going to be in a major motion picture, if you got it, of course?
the way I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I was not aware of being in such a important horror movies. I was happy to be in a horror movies, but I was not aware of that grandeur, let's say. And I realized in 2010 that the movies I took part in, were so, I mean, so important and so representative. But before, I didn't realize. I can tell you, in 2010, with the coming of Facebook, I've been contacted by lots of people, and so somehow I came again. I enter again this field, because before I was just, I was not acting anymore. But I would say thanks to Facebook, because lots of fans contacted me, and so I'm very happy to have fans that love Fulci, and also Sergio Martino, because I can tell you that Sergio Martino in Italy, the majority of people knows for his comedy movies, he says, and but outside, of course, now for movies like these, with animals and horror, something like this, and so I'm very happy that I managed to be part of this movie, and they were hit at the time, and even now, probably now even better.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you something. I happened to join horror conventions, especially not in Italy. We don't have conventions. We have festivals, which are different.
Yeah.
And it's not the same. Completely nothing to do with conventions you do you have in the US, especially in the US, and in Germany they're very fond of horror. And I went to US, and we were in the cinema during this convention, and they put the Great Alligator, and so I was very happy, because I haven't seen it on a big screen since 1980, the first time I saw it on a big screen. And okay, I say, okay, more than 40 years passed from that movie, but it's still rocking somehow. I can tell. I was very pleased. I was very, oh my God, I was very proud. People love it.
I
Love it,
like
even
the
though it's
rewatch.
an old. There are not a lot of special effects. Our special effects dating back to the 80s,
Yeah.
but people loved it. Why? And the House by the Cemetery. Instead, lots of people laughed. And I said, "What are you laughing?
Don't laugh at that.
Why? No, you should be. Oh my God!" Now they say, "Ha ha ha ha," all the time. Okay, okay,
I like
okay.
the rewatch that I just did of The Great Alligator
Yeah.
just a couple of days ago. But I
Okay.
do remember, like Ziggy mentioned, seeing it on one of those Saturday afternoon double features way
Yeah.
back in the day. I do remember seeing it back then.
It would always be some random movie like that. And
Yeah.
that absolutely came up because I remember thinking, wow, that alligator, it does look fake, but they made him menacing. It made him scary,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, it was a stiff. The animal, the puppet, let's say the statue. What do you say? The puppet.
Yeah.
It was like this. With the hands, like this in the water. You see that it's fake, but you love it because
Yes.
it's the 80s was like this. We love it because of it.
As a
Otherwise,
70s,
if you do something like this now, it would be all with special effects, but digital effects. It wouldn't be the same thing at all.
Right.
right. We'll get into that later. Special effects, practical versus the CGI. I've got a couple for you about that too.
Right. And folks out there that are watching, I see some of your comments or questions for Silvia. We will get to those here in just a little bit, but
hang in there.
I want to stay on The Great Alligator for one more thing because
Yeah.
you had a few scenes with Barbara Bach,
Ah.
who a year or two prior to The Great Alligator kind of had a big break as a Bond girl in The Spy Who Loved Me, and was possibly dating Ringo Starr around the time of filming. I want to ask you about that. But
No, I think later, because
was that a little
she
later?
met Ringo when we were shooting No More Lonely Nights, Never Be Another. No, the song No More Lonely Nights. It was
Oh, okay.
1981, I think. So a little bit later. And I have
Okay.
something to tell you about this in an anecdote, because I love Beatles, and we used to, with my family, we loved Beatles band. And I used to ask people, "Do you like Beatles?" When I was young. "Do you like Beatles? Do you like Beatles?" And I didn't ask her. That's strange. I didn't ask her. And after I realized she was, with Ringo, and that's great. But I can tell you, I knew Barbara Bach.
Yeah.
So,
Well, did she give you any advice or for like your young career starting out, and what was she like to work with during that time?
I just remember she was stunning. She was beautiful. The way you see it, the way when you see her on TV, she was exactly like that. She was beautiful. She was polite to me. She was kind. Let's say, as everyone on the set was very kind to me, and him, and also Neil Ferrer. Neil Ferrer used to speak a bit of Italian, so we had lunch together. I took I had strange puppets. I had skeletons, I took a scope, and when I used to have lunch, he sat close to me and my mother, and we were feeding. We were giving food to this skeleton together. It was very funny to have a meal with me and do stuff like that.
There we go. Yeah. Well, actually, that does kind of lead into a viewer question. So let me jump in here, and then Ziggy, I'll hand it back to you. But
Alrighty.
Tarek wants to know: does Silvia still have a collection of over 50 decorative human skulls? He just read that somewhere about you. So, do you
Yes,
still
now
have
are
those?
60. Now are 60. I don't have any more room, but I'm trying to. When I go abroad or any place I found a skull, I take him at home. They're like my, like friends, like children for me. I love them, and all different shapes and the different colors. So because I found that funny. Horror things for me is uh, something that gives me pleasure. So I love them. It's like a big family.
Yeah.
When you get yourself back in your new
Same
digs,
here.
we have to have you back on just so we can see the skulls.
Yes.
We have.
Yes, I will show you. I will show you the new house. Yes,
Yeah.
of course, with pleasure.
Excellent. All right.
Ziggy, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we wrapped up. I've held off as long as I possibly could. It's time to get into your Fulci chapter.
Mm.
So, The House by the Cemetery. You played Mae Freudstein, the ghost. And spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Yeah, this was Fulci's 38th film as a director. How aware were you of his career at that point?
At the time, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't knew him at all. I didn't know he was a great director. I just remember that I had the test and he was not there. He didn't test me. And so I remember something that, still gives me emotions because I receive a call from my agent and my mother replies to the phone. And she was talking to her and she mimed what she was telling me, and she did, you don't see this, but she say, "Woo, like we will fly, we will take the flight to the US." So I remember, yes, I was like that because I wanted to, I wanted to be part of that movie. They just made me a test, make this face like this, like that, scary, try to scream, making faces. I just remember they just look at me and say, do that, smile, do that, cry, just that. Probably, that's what I did it right, probably because they took me, and it was a big emotion to be part of that movie and to be in that cast. And I remember my mother when she told me yes, I was very, very, very happy. I still remember it so vividly as if it was yesterday.
Nice. Go ahead, Ziggy.
Want me to continue? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've all heard that Fulci could be quite gruff on set. Do you think he was just consumed by the passion of creating his visions how he wanted to, or was he just a man there to do his job and wasn't interested in personal relationships, didn't care what people thought of him?
Now, well, surely the first one you told me, probably he wanted us to do exactly as he wanted to. I mean, he had an idea in his head, and he wanted us to do like that because he was like a visionary director, so probably he was very demanding, I can tell you, and rude, especially to adults. Rude, I can tell you, rude, especially to a little bit mean to women. I don't know why. Probably, and is well renowned for this. And any actors or actresses that took part in this movie can witness what happened during the set. Well, it was just screaming to me and Giovanni Frezza, Bob. Bob.
Yeah.
He wanted us to be a couple, and we had fiancé, young fiancé, and I didn't want to. Of course, I was very shy, and so we wanted to create this harmony between me and Giovanni. And but as far as I remember, and I haven't been told by Antonella Fulci, his daughter, he was very proud of us children, and was probably the only one who didn't judge a lot. He used to, well, there is a famous scene when I was crying during the movie, I was seeing the statue of Anya Peroni, the babysitter, and falling down and the head, and, but I didn't manage to cry because I was, I didn't get on well with her. Probably I just saw her and I knew that she was there because she was probably the lover of somebody, some strange affairs, love affairs. I don't know. And when she died, when I foresaw her death, I wasn't capable to cry. I had to, but I was not capable. So Fulci became angry, was there and say, "You have to do like this," and he showed me the way I have to act. But he told me with that, like this, do that, and I was petrified, and so I started crying myself, and I couldn't stop after the movie. And then Antonella came, gave me a big hug, and told me, "No, that's okay. But he doesn't care. He's very sensitive to don't judge him because it just seems to be so rude. Do not." And she tried to comfort me somehow.
He just wanted to get the best performance out of you. But I mean, there's a story that comes from the set of City of the Living Dead. I'm not going to try it. I used to be able to say it in Italian, but I'm not going to.
Please don't.
No. Yes, but the scene where the maggots blow through the window, and they're all in there, and all the actors, Christopher George and Katerina, all covered in maggots. There's a story of either a crew member or some say it was Christopher George himself took some of the maggots and put it in Fulci's pipe tobacco sack, and he smoked some maggots and was pissed off at everybody after that. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard that story or not, but it gets told a lot, around the waves around here,
And no, and there are lots of strange situations like this, and also Catriona McCall can witness. She has lots to say about it, but she has a great consideration of Fulci, notwithstanding his reputation. And so I can say that I really have a great admiration for him because he was a very he had lots of culture, he knew lots of things. He was very he was a master of horror of genre because he did lots of kinds of different movies, not only horror, comedy, giallo, thriller, and whatever history. So I consider him like a father in that field for me. I really miss him from this. Let's say I would have liked to ask him for lots of things, and he died so in 1996 too early, and that's a pity.
Yeah, I remember being very upset about that at the time. Because I know he wasn't making his best movies there, but he had just started. He just kind of patched things up with Argento, and they were going to do something together, right? When it all does. Damn, it's so close.
No, I know. He had lots of projects. He had a project together with Dario Argento, and even though he didn't have high budget movies, he didn't have the possibility of having lots of budget. But it's a pity. At the time, no one considered him. Now we are taking him consideration, and that's sad. It's all as it always happens that people when people die, we remember how big they were. And but I can tell you that I'm trying to keep him keep his name alive,
Mm-hmm.
and I will try to do my best because I am one of the youngest of his of all the actors he had.
There you
Lots,
go.
unfortunately, are dead, and so I think I'm the only one left to have this. I would say this for me. It's like a goal. I want to keep him alive, his name alive, and I know in Italy is not well known as Dario Argento, but abroad Fulci have a massive fans, and I'm so sad for this. I'm so sad that in Italy, if you say, "Do you know Fulci?" If you're not of that of the field of horror in the horror field, you know Dario Argento and not Fulci,
Yeah.
and that's not good. And that's not good.
I saw Suspiria and all that when it came out, and I saw Zombie on the limited U.S. release here the first time. So I mean, right away, and then like I think it was 1983 before City of the Living Dead. It was called The Gates of Hell here. They released it as that, and when I got to that, I knew I go okay there. I'm attracted to this Italian thing, this Italian splatter thing. This is for me. I get it. None of my friends were into it. They were like, they're not, the mouths don't line up. I go, who cares? Look at the story they're telling here, man. And I've always been just fascinated by it. And so when it's funny, the Beyond never, to my recollection, never got a theatrical release around here because I was at the movies every single weekend during like from 1981 till 1990. I mean,
Really?
yeah, that's all we did here. I mean, without, especially a younger kid, let's say through the mid 80s, I had a theater here every Saturday, $1, 2 movies. And they would bring a new horror movie and they would pair it with a classic. And this is how I saw like City of the Living Dead. This is how I saw Demons on a screen. You know what I mean? So I was well aware of it. I just didn't understand it at the time. You know, just why I was attracted to this somehow. But I've really done the research now, and Fulci's my favorite. As far as Italian directors go, and I'm a gore. I love the gore. I love the blood. I love the guts. I love the eyeballs poking. I love it. So I mean,
because in Fulci you see lots of crazy stuff. I mean, it's not just an horror movie. I know. Well, I on his side by force. I mean, I belong to Fulci's family, so I represent him. But I can tell you that I love Dario Argento as well. Of course, he did such beautiful movies in the past, such as Suspiria and Inferno, Tenebre, and Profondo Rosso. You know, I cannot say differently. But of course, Fulci.
Just Fulci, he gave me that extra. You know what I mean? Argento can tell a story, yes, but I mean, I want the visceral, visual recoil, like, you know.
Yes.
Argento doesn't do this. He doesn't do this, and it's not.
It's another style. It's a horror style, which is perfect, you know. But it's different. But I know that in U.S. and in Germany, in South America, and it goes for the best. Fulci goes for the best, you know. And so I'm very happy, and I'm very happy to attend to conventions. I was telling you, because my aim is this one, is to be like you know, Giovanna d'Arco. You know, how can I tell you? I want to be to represent, to act on his behalf, because no one does it anymore. So I have this let's say this task. For me, it's so important to keep it to realize that it was so important, and is so important for all of you, and he has lots of fans, and I'm so sad that he doesn't know it.
We should.
Probably. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
There,
Who knows?
there should
If
be
he
there
knows.
should be a Fulci fest or something, kind of like
Fulci
Living
Fest.
Dead weekend
Oh my
with
God.
George A. Romero.
Listen,
What?
we get to a lot of conventions here in the U.S. Would you mind if I sent you a contact to somebody that might get you some more over here in the U.S.? Maybe we can achieve this.
Right,
Because
of course.
we do know some people that can get it done, and
Yeah.
the right way, not
Yeah.
just some in a corner of a bowling alley somewhere. No, or some little in a store at a mall or something. No, this is going to be a big convention, and
Yeah.
Fulci getting his just. I'll do that. I'm going to pass that along to you because it's a tragedy that of all the conventions we've been to the last 7 years, we've never seen you at one.
Nope.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I'm joining now horror in Germany. I'm going to Germany, and I'm going to in Indianapolis for a convention dedicated to Fulci and also to the Great Alligator. But
Nice.
I'm going around, but I would like to put his reputation higher, to let also the young people know him, and because otherwise, the more the time is passing by, and if I don't do it, no one will, because I really feel I have this it is important for me to represent him. I'm in his family. I know that Antonella wants to, Antonella Fulci.
Yeah.
And I know that Fulci would be happy, because as I told you, Antonella revealed me that he really loved me and Giovanni. He considered me and Giovanni like this. It took us like jewels. So something that touched me.
Hear me now.
A lot.
Hear me now. Anything we can do to help facilitate what you want to do to help Fulci's name be out there, we are on board. We will do whatever you need us to do. Anything.
As very much.
Yep.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm the only one left, and as far as I can, I will do that. I will advertise him abroad, in Italy, any place, anywhere, anytime, with lots of love.
Oh, yeah. You're coming to Indianapolis. Well, that's gonna fix that right away for me. I'll be there.
the end of September.
September? Oh no!
Gotta look at that.
I'll have to look at a calendar. We're at the end of September. We're in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
So I'll check a calendar though. I'll make it happen. I'm coming in just for 1 hour, and I'll fly out again. Go ahead, Craig.
Let me get back to your acting career for a minute. In House by the Cemetery, you play a very brooding, kind of solitary girl. We find out later is a ghost. Yes. In May, and then in The Great Alligator, you play quite the opposite in Manu. She's more of an outgoing, precocious girl in a way. Which was closer to your behavior as a girl growing up? Which girl were you? May or Manu?
I will tell you, there is a third character you were not listening. Molly in Murder Rock.
Yes.
That was more you?
3 characters with M, starting with the name starting Molly, Minu, and Mai.
Yeah.
And there is a piece of me in any of those other 3 characters, because I was very well, probably like a mixture of all together, because I was a funny child. I love playing. I was just all the time, joking, stuff like this, and smiling. So very, very, it was very funny, like I am now, but At the same time, I love anything concerning the macabre. Macabre. I had a macabre side, and now too. And at the same time, I loved anything concerning, even though I was very young, I loved paranormal activities, stuff like this, and my family too. We used to gather and with the table, making sounds. You say that like this, with the hands on the table. So I can tell you that there is a part of me in each character, in each of those three. So they're part of me. Yes, I can tell you.
All right. Well, you seem to have a little more fun in The Great Alligator, of course, but that might have had to do with Fulci's more serious subject matter. So, The Great Alligator just looked like a fun movie to be on overall. So,
okay.
Go ahead, Ziggy.
All right. I'm picking up an echo now. You hear that?
Yeah.
I had another role in I was very lucky because I was not only my Protestant, but I was only Protestant's hand. You know that?
Yes.
This one, the left hand. I killed lots of people. How was there? This is the only chance I have to kill someone. and I did it, and I was very excited to grab the knife and cut through the throats of Anya Pironi or Dagmar Lassander. It was very exciting. It was very unusual for a girl, but I can tell you, for me, it was wow.
All right, we're talking about effects and gore here. Let's go ahead and do this. Fulci has a pretty disturbing track record of his graphic gore scenes. What's your opinion on the use of uncensored gore as opposed to how it is here in the States, where it's all cut up and censored?
No, can you please repeat it?
Yeah, sorry. We got an echo here. I don't know where it came from. Hang on a second. All right. I'm just asking, in Italy and around the world, the gore isn't censored. They show it. They show the whole thing. Here in the States, they chop everything up. Yeah, censor.
I know, that's a real pity. And I know that Fulci was not happy for this because, if you cut a movie, you first don't have respect. You do not have respect for the director because it's what the movie did. What you should see it entirely, not with a censor. And sometimes what happened to Fulci and probably to lots of Italian directors too, it loses the meaning of the whole thing. You don't understand because scenes are cut, and then you see another scene, another place, another environment, and so there is no link with the other scene, and that's a real pity. But nowadays, unfortunately, I can tell you that we can see the release of the entire movie, like The Exorcist. Lots of I don't know if for The Exorcist they cut it because it was too gore or it was too gruesome, something like this. But also to The Exorcist happened this. I don't know why in the US it happens that they have to censor lots of things, and it seems to be strange. I mean, it's horror movies. Come on.
Like we can't tell the difference. We're going to see this and go right outside and cut somebody's head off. You know what I mean? Like we can't think for ourselves here.
Yeah, that's very strange. I mean, what I say is that horror does not terrify me because I think that what we see outside in real life is even worse.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's even worse. So I'm not scared of a paranormal. I say that if I hear a noise, I would say it's a spirit. Oh my God, come! It doesn't. But of course, I fear people. I fear human beings because they are very dangerous. Our monsters are not compared to human beings,
Ha.
unfortunately. And so I don't understand how can people be scared of horror. They should be scared every day, every time they're going outside the house.
Yeah.
Only in the house by the cemetery there is a real monster you should be scared of. But my daddy, my real daddy.
That's something we're going to get into in just a second here. Let me ask you quickly, what do you think of the computer-generated graphic or gore that they do now with computers over the artists that used to create these effects practically and with squirting blood and boobs and bladders and everything?
No, keep on.
Yeah, do you ever think it will catch up and be as good? I don't think so.
No, I can't
Ziggy,
stand it
Ziggy,
completely.
check your area for something. You've got something else on that's echoing. It sounds like anyone.
Go ahead and take it while I'm taking one.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Sylvia.
Okay. No, I can't stand digital effects, special effects. Nowadays, in fact, with a computer, you can do whatever you want. It cuts and the imagination. In the past, we used to see movies, and we were just asking, how did they do it? How can you, for instance, The Exorcist? You know, there are lots of scenes beyond the scenes, lots of special effects, handmade special effects. You know, and so the grandeur of these movies was creating with the possibility they had. And now you can do whatever you want. So there is no limit. I want to have limits. Okay, because if you don't have any limits, anything could happen. And especially, I can tell you, you know, fake blood with digital effects and fake fire, for instance, you see it's not real. You see it's not real. I don't like it at all. It doesn't leave anything to the imagination. I don't like it. I prefer the makeup. For instance, Reagan in The Exorcist had a special, you know, makeup. When it has been, the movie has been cleaned and released in the 2000, and the film was completely cleaned, and you see the black, the blue, the green of the face. But I love the special effects. I can tell you, I don't want to see any other movies now. I don't want to go to the cinema. They don't give me any. I don't have any goosebumps, anything. No, I am against special effects with a computer.
Nice.
I don't. I prefer seeing, you know, when I did House by the Cemetery, they made me, you know, with the reproduction of my hand, and it was real. You see my hand, it was like my one, and it has been cut. Now it's easy. You can do with a special effect, and it, you know, it doesn't leave anything to the imagination, and having no limit, it's not good. And I can tell you that nowadays horror movies have their limits because everything is based on jump scare. There is no plot. There is no plot, and so you are just terrified because boom, you do like this. Just that. That's that. It's disgraceful. There is nothing else because the plot is weak. The plot is weak. There is nothing, and they just base the movie on blood, on you know, monster that can do whatever they want, on and the characters are always the same, black eyes, you know, black eyes here, not white, black eyes, hair like this, and you know, always the same. I can stand. I can stand. I'm with you.
Keep going, Ziggy.
All right. I'm going to try to get through this echo. I apologize.
Yeah, we can't.
All of a sudden, it started echoing. My settings haven't changed. The monsters from the Fulci world: Father Thomas, Dr. Warlock, Dr. Freudstein. As popular in Italy as our American monsters like Freddy, Michael, and Jason.
No, and that's something very sad, because I'm sure that if Fulci would have been an American director, Freudstein would have this place, would be a star, like Freddy Krueger, like Alien, like Mark Myers, like anybody. And because it has all the characteristics to be a star, a horror monster star, but in Italy it is not, and it's because it's not it's Italian. If it would have been an US director, Fulci, we would have the statue, the puppets, it would be like an icon monster.
I agree 100%. I think Father Thomas, I think Freudstein, I even think Schweck, they could have had sequels and captivating stories told about them through different storylines and everything. It's a shame.
It's a shame. I agree. And it's so sad, because I will tell you that, Ferguson looks like a soldier, with a uniform, and is very somehow, charming. It's very fascinating, like an iconic monster, like every like the others. And lots of people during Carnival wears something like Freddy Krueger, Mike Myers. Why not Fulci? Next Carnival, I will try to wear something and to remind him. I will try to wear his dress and represent him somehow. That's disgraceful. That's sad. It's a shame. I know it is.
We must change this.
Yes, I will try to. I will fight for this.
Do you think those let's say that Gates of Hell trilogy, the Beyond and House of Cemetery, would you consider them actual giallo films, or are they just like a bloody cellar in the house of giallo?
No, probably in Italy we'd consider him this trilogy as a trilogy of terror. So terror. When I was young, I used to think that there was a difference, and even now probably a difference between horror and terror, because horror for me is linked to paranormal, something strange, and terror there is the serial killer or something that probably upsets you, but is not, I don't know, paranormal. I don't know. I just was wondering the difference between terror and horror. But the trilogy, in Italy, we consider trilogy of terror and not giallo. Giallo is with a detective, somebody that is searching for a killer, but there's no paranormal in it. With giallo, we consider this one. Like Sherlock Holmes, probably inquiring and searching for clues.
Go ahead, Crank. Oh, can't hear him now. Hang on. Okay, we lost Crank.
Yes.
All right, I'll pick it up. I was gonna say here, right here, the giallo thing. Yes. All right. When you were doing your Ready to Play May, how do you research being a ghost? Without really having any way to research this.
How I try to interpret her, you mean?
Yeah, just like actual playing a dead person. I mean,
for me, it was so natural to interpret it, May, and I was so serious when I saw this May, and I turned like this. You know, it was very serious, and I was really consider my role so professionally, and I don't know. I really felt like being her, and uh, and you know, I think that Fulci had a particular consideration of red hair girl, because also Nicoletta Elmi in other movies, it was in his movies, she had red hair and green eyes, and there was another girl in another Pucci's movie with red hair. Probably was fond of red hair children, probably because like witches. We were witches. We are witches. Probably we are.
When they were making these movies, because he made those three pretty much right in a row. I mean, he knocked them right out. Boom, boom, boom. There you are. I hear you.
Yes.
Did they say, hey, this is going to be, was it a trilogy for you at that time? This feels like something that came along later, like they put these three together.
Yes, I think so. I think so. Probably at the time he just did this, the three new movies, and after they gathered them to say that it was a trilogy. Probably it was not at the time.
I
It
think
was not a trilogy.
Katerina's involvement too probably helped sell that point a little bit. You know,
Yes,
like,
probably.
three movies and
Yes, probably. Yes, I agree. Yeah, yes. And I can tell you that after this magical period, he did other movies, but probably more for the Italian market. Murderok, well, yes, it was Murderok was a giallo. I can tell you, Murderok is a giallo because there is a serial killer and nothing paranormal, no horror. It is not a horror movie.
Right, it's
And
grounded.
Yes.
Crank, are you back with us?
I don't know yet.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Right. You are we still on house? Give me a number.
I asked you about how they look at the Gates of Hell trilogy. Was it meant to be a trilogy? Right. So I'm after that.
Okay. Well, Katerina McCall is one of Ziggy's favorite final girls. So, how was it working with her?
She was great, and she was very sweet to us, and she was so natural, and Fulci loved her. She was one of his best actresses in this field, and I'm very close to Catriona. We are in touch. I love her so much. I have a great consideration of her, and she's a great friend of mine. And we used to to make convention together, and because we work as a couple, and we have lots of anecdotes to say together because we represent Fulci. And so I say, ciao, Catriona. I love you.
Oh, I want her too on this show. I mean, I haven't got to her yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay, Catriona, she's a very kind woman. She's she's a very special one.
She's my favorite final girl out of any horror movie series by far. I mean,
Great.
Even though it doesn't really work out for her in most of her movies with Fulci, but I still love her. I love watching her go through these
She's
nightmares.
considered a screaming queen.
Mm-hmm.
A screaming queen.
Okay. A scream queen.
Yeah, scream
Scream
queen.
queen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't see her on that many lists, though, but she should be.
No, she's considered. Probably, I don't know, you need it, but also outside Italy because she was very good at screaming. She was so natural.
I used her scream at the beginning of our countdown just to startle everybody.
I love her.
Let's see. Okay. After your films, you did Murder Rock, and that was you walked away from acting at that point. But you stayed creative, drawing, singing, writing. What is the status of the Lodge of Whispers, or are we any closer to seeing a Silvia Collatina directed horror film?
I have lots of projects. Well, I would like to direct a movie in the 80s style, because I think that we need something not, taking from the movies of our past. We don't need anything new, I think. But I had two ideas. One would be to make the prequel of House by the Cemetery. What happened to Freud's son? Why he went crazy? He went mad? What happened to him to kill his family? Why? And something about my character when I was young. How he killed me? Stuff like this. So a movie, a prequel, not a sequel, because according to me, a movie after the House by the Cemetery, it will go against Fulci's idea. I don't want to change. I don't want to the movie stop like that with the House by the Cemetery. But a prequel, something before, probably would be a good idea. So I have this idea of doing it. I cannot, of course, interpret anymore. I cannot play anymore because I'm a little bit older now. but I would like to see a movie, and to have the copyrights on it. It's very difficult to have a copyright on the House by the Cemetery. I would never know who can turn to the person. I don't know who owns the rights.
Especially if it's like an estate thing. After someone's deceased here in America, it becomes an estate. So you have to get permission from the estate, and then every country has its own right for the film. So
it's messy.
I know it's messy, but I wrote a plot for this movie, and for a movie dedicated to the past. So a little bit of there is not of The Exorcist, but it's a tribute to the movies of the past. It's called Devilish Impulses. Is that Impulses?
Mm-hmm. Impulses. Yeah.
You're right. Devilish Impulses, as it's dedicated to movies like Magic, with the David Attenborough, or the Fury. You know the Fury.
The Fury.
The Fury.
Yes.
And there is something of the 80s in this movie, and this in the 80s style. So let's wait. If it is possible, I would like to. So if anyone is listening to me now, we can do something together. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Crowdfunding.
We want you. We want you.
By the way, Angelo's there. He says, ciao.
Oh, ciao, Angelo. Ciao. Spero stai bene. Hope you're fine. Thank you for having introduced me. And thank you very much.
That was fun. That was recording that little bit. We sat down and did that. And I was actually asking him about Italian cinema culture just so I could form my questions properly. And, we got to get him back on here. It's been far too long.
Yes.
We talked for 2 hours and it just went by in a minute. So,
I know.
He's great.
He's great. He makes masterpieces.
Yes.
Thank you very much to him. Thank you.
I've never been an art guy until I saw his works. And at first he was like, I'm busy. I'm booked for 2 years. And we talked Fulci for 2 hours that night. And he said, I can paint for you now. Because he knew I was a true fan, So, I mean, and then I've got 10 now, so.
Yes.
Well, check this out.
Masterpieces. His works are so beautiful. And
Rick.
we love.
Yeah, Rick just negotiated a deal for 2 more Angelo Mariano art paintings. So excited.
All right.
There you go. Let me. There was a one. Here we go. Actually, Rick had a question. Throw that in here. Rick wants to know, what is Sylvia's favorite horror movie or franchise? It's awesome that she seems like one of us, a horror junkie, and not just an actor from a horror film.
Yes, because I'm a horror fan. So I get excited at horrors, anything, when I go especially in US and also in Germany, as I told you, in these big conventions with lots of horror gadgets and stuff like this. I want to buy anything, skulls, hands, whatever, because I love horror. Horror is inside my veins. It's me. I have two passions in my life: horror and disco dance of the 80s, back in the 80s. And I love horror. And my friends know that I have this rare passion. And if I go outside during the night, say, haha, from there is a monster. Look at there. I love it. It's so dark. Let's go there. No, don't go there. Because I'm crazy. Yes, I am at first a horror fan. I'm not only an actress, a horror actress. That's why I love horror, because I'm involved in 360 degrees on it. And my favorite movie is The Exorcist.
Nice. There we go.
I have an obsession for this movie.
We have a couple more for you, Silvia, and we'll let you go for today. What would you like to say to those who do not understand the importance of giallo to the horror history?
What would I say? Excuse me?
What would you like to say to those who don't really understand how important it is to horror in general?
I don't understand how people do not like horror movies. For me, it's very strange because it's part of me, as I told you. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's when you watch a horror movie, you should feel better. Let's see it, because as I told you, outside is worse. So you should be happy to see that what's happened there is not true, but it's so well done that it's worth seeing it. Don't go outside. Stay inside the house, and probably House by the Cemetery, and watch a horror movie.
I love it. Silvia, thank you so much for joining us today.
It has been a great pleasure. We did it. It's been a little bit difficult to say. I don't know where I am, in which house. Not House by the Cemetery, but in my brother's house. And I'm very happy to meet you, to speak with you, with anyone that loves horror. We are a big family. And I keep on telling this, that we are weird, but we share a passion that is very strong and make no harm to anyone.
We see it all over the country when we go here every convention, and the best fans on the world are the heavy metal and punk rock fans and the horror fans. Always.
Yes. I can tell you just this one.
Nope.
See. A portrait. Let's make me a portrait. Portrait? Why not? And what can I tell you? I would like to add something.
Sure.
There are a lot of actresses that are in horror movies, but I can tell you that if you don't like horror, it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's just a job.
I am in because I'm a ghost. I love horror, and I tell you, and I will always do it. It's part of my character. It's part of my life. It's part of my behavior. And so I'm completely involved in horror. I feed with horror.
Nice.
We're going to keep in touch with you. And if you have anything we can do to help get you here to a convention, like I said, I'm going to pass a number along to you. I'm going to have her email you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. Thank you. And I love all the fans, and I say thank you for appreciating Fulci and appreciating horror in its entirety, because it's a good medicine to anyone horror.
Agreed. Well, Silvia, thank you very much. And
Thank you very much to you too.
have a wonderful evening. And hopefully we'll see you down the road.
I hope to see you again, and I hope to join any other places of US. And I just like to finish this interview telling you, I built a short sentence to make you understand what I want to transmit. Let's horrorize us. You know.
Yes. I love that.
Do you? We have to feel horror in any place, anywhere. So let's horrorize us. Okay?
Yes. All right. So we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
God bless.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you.
Ciao.
Ciao. Yeah, sorry, dude.
That was awesome.
Fuck. Apologies for the technical difficulties. I'm not sure what happened there.
Now they're gone.
And now they're gone. You know, I mean,
the echo is gone.
It might have been like something with her connection to her phone, maybe, or something. But man, what a fucking treat that was. I mean, I could have gone another 2 hours like this today, easily.
Yep.
Easily, just gone. We had other questions we didn't even get near. So maybe we can get a Silvia Collatina part 2 someday. We're gonna definitely try. And
we need to think about this Fulci Fest.
Fulci Fest. She said it. I just went. You said it. I went. Oh my god!
Don't give her the credit. I said it.
If she went, Katerina, I don't know. See, the guy that played Father Thomas is still alive, but he's like 1 million years old now. I don't know if he could do it, you know. But I mean, just to have those two to talk about it and show the movies and bring
that's what I'm saying
to the merch.
Let's
be a hit.
Let's watch some old 35mm prints of that, like Mahoning Drive-In.
Oh my god, I'm chilling. I got goosebumps, man.
We gotta pitch that. We gotta pitch that to him.
We got to get this done. But yeah, there you go. A glimpse into the world of Fulci and 80s horror. It doesn't get any better than this, man. And I'm going to be lit up the rest of the day after this interview. I'm so happy.
Where's our producer, FaZe? What is Fulci's birthday?
It's like oh shit. I don't know if it just happened or it's in March or something, or he died in March or something like that.
June 17th.
June 17th.
Our producer's not here, so I got to do it myself. Damn it.
But yes, Sylvia's giving us a thumbs up from the green room. So, God, man, I just this is the reason why I like to do this, and how important it is to make these connections to the past, the 40 years plus past of what things were before we got to what it is now. It's not the same, kids. It's not the same, and these films need to be, you got to see them to understand why you like what you like now, because you wouldn't without getting to see those back in the day, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, for God's sake. All of it matters. The whole damn ball of wax matters here. Mm-hmm. And Fulci is a huge part of that. My Mount Rushmore, man, is Fulci, Romero, Carpenter, Hooper. That's it, man. That's it. We got to
pitch this, dude. So Tarek was saying there should be something like a Fulci Fest.
Yeah.
And then Rick was saying, I'm just saying, if we do a Fulci Fest, Cleveland is in the middle of the whole DCS. It is a shorter distance. I get you.
That's true. That's true. You know, travel and everything. But this is far from over. We are not going to let this go. This isn't a passing thought, a passing fad. We're serious.
We have plenty of those too, though.
Yeah, we have plenty of those, but this ain't it. I mean, this is something. If Colonel was here too, you guys know he's a big Fulci guy too. He's a big gore hound too.
I like this one. Tarek says, "We all appreciate Ziggy not attempting to say Italian things."
Hey, it was a whole bit. I wrote down one little phrase here, and I barely could spit that fucking thing out. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, I knew I was going to get Angelo in here to do that, so that's why. You know, I actually had all her movies, all those Fulci movies, I could say them pretty good. And then as we were going on the air, I tried to spit out Fear in the City of the Living Dead, and it was nope. I let him go at that point. I wasn't going to do it.
I tried to I couldn't find Murder Rock. That was the only one I could not track down to see.
I found a copy, but it was in Italian. It wasn't English dubbed. So, and it didn't have subtitles. I mean, it was I've never seen a movie not have subtitles, you know? So, and it was a really, really shoddy copy. So I'm going to get around to seeing that again. I know she only plays a small pivotal role in that one too, but I mean, it should be mentioned. That's the last time she worked with Fulci and acting in general, really. I mean, at that time. So, wow.
That was fun, dude. That was a lot of fun. I love the interviews, though. I love the interviews.
Dude. And the fact that I was at a ghost hunt for 6 hours last night, up all night long, chasing ghosts and everything. And I was like, man, I'm going to be a wreck. And I popped out of bed like, boing!
I was working. I was working last night. So, you know, I got home at like 4.
I jumped I jumped right out and I was ready to go. I was like, got the lights set up and everything, and then had breakfast. And I was like, okay, now I got 3 hours. But yeah, that was a treat.
Loreno says, don't know if you guys caught it, but Angela said he's going to do a portrait of her.
Ah, yes. He's done it before, actually. He did the side profile where she's looking to the side. If you caught the promo for this interview, I actually used the screenshot of her and I faded it right into Angelo's painting. So, yeah, anything he does. I think if I was going to get House by the Cemetery themed painting, I'd want the collage. I'd want May in there. I definitely want Freud's. I want the house in there. You know,
he did one with May, the profile shot.
Yeah.
I've seen that one. I just pulled a kernel. Part of my set just fell down.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but see that blank spot right there?
Well,
that used to be the thing, but
hopefully there's no damage to it. But wow, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this as much as we did. We'll probably still be buzzing about this tomorrow, I think. We roll into Monday Maniacs, but tell them
you're going to be on a high. Man. You're going to be on a high for like 3 days at least.
I'm going to need to crash. You're not going to see me after like Tuesday to Sunday. That's it. I'm going to hibernate. You know, I need to decompress and let this adrenaline go, man. I've been charged up for the week for this.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, tell them what we're doing.
Tomorrow, Monday Maniacs, we are live with the writer-director of the upcoming stream from Fuzz on the Lens Productions. Michael Levy is going to join us. Not sure if he's going to bring in any cast members or not yet.
He's being coy about it.
We'll see. We'll see. But
if you didn't know, this is the entire crew. Bye, Silvia.
I'm going to let Silvia go. Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
There she goes. Oh man.
There we go. She can.
This is the entire crew of Terrifier.
Yes.
That made this movie. Damien is actually the head special effects dude, and you know he knows how to bring the gore. So a couple of clips we've seen have been pretty wet. So
right. I'm interested to talk to him because he's been playing around for a while, you know, with films, or not playing around, but doing films for a while. And he did, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, right around the time that Halloween 2018 was coming out.
Yeah.
He did like a parody trailer for Halloween 60. Do you remember that?
Yes, I did.
That was him. Yeah.
He's also the guy in Terrifier 1 that gets his head cut off and stomped on.
Yeah. So, the exterminator or something.
Yeah,
right?
He's the exterminator or electrician or something. Yeah, but he does one of the best beheading reactions I've ever seen. It's depictions of a computer that's getting its wires severed. It's pretty much on point. So I'm excited to see this. This guy is obviously another horror fan, and he's got a pretty good vision here. Now they're calling this the Expandables of Horror. We already heard that one before with another film that didn't quite live up to that hype. So hopefully this one does.
Yeah, right. Actually, yeah, go find that Halloween 60. I think this is it. I'm going to throw the link in the comments, but it's funny, dude. Yeah. I mean, it pretty much mirrors the Halloween 2018 trailer, but another 20 years later. And
with all the things you would think that an 80-year-old Michael Myers would be.
Well, and you know, 60-year-old Laurie Strode, too. You know, like the scene where she cocks the gun in her house. She cocks a gun, but then opens like a walker, and it makes the same noise, like, you know.
The guy's he's smart, so I mean, it's definitely it's worth your time. But yeah, I mean, that's tomorrow night, man.
That's tomorrow night. Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Crank, on Silvia Collatina and the whole Giallo thing?
No, that was just an awesome interview. I thought you were going to phase me.
Oh no,
that was a perfect phase. That was a perfect phase question too. I thought you were going to do that. I was like, did you see my eyes like get all suspicious? Like, motherfucker, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, well, you know what you can do.
Smell my ass.
Yeah,
What? That's new.
That's a new one. We'll save. I got some more new ones for my. We were being polite today. No drops during such an important interview today.
Not an important interview, man. But yeah, that was fucking cool.
It totally lived up to. Again, I apologize. I'm not sure what the fuck happened with the echoes. It might have been. Now that she's gone, I can say
it sounds like it was on her end. Like maybe
I think she might have unplugged her, and we were getting the sound was coming through her phone. Like our voices.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
We've seen it before, but I mean, I was just like, okay, I just need to ignore I just got to say what I'm saying and not listen to what I'm saying, and I'll be fine. Because she's only hearing one voice at that point.
Right.
On her phone. So sorry if it bled to you guys, but hey, man, this is the price we pay to talk to Fulci greatness.
And I think I'm already getting messages from Rick about Fulci Fest. Let's talk.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the way.
We've got something else to talk to you about also, Rick. So
yeah,
stay tuned. Teaser.
Crossover.
Let's go. What are we doing? We've already pitched tomorrow.
We pitched tomorrow. I mean,
we're not obligated to do this, but we can do this.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Thanks to our final girls and guys, Christy, C. Faze, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert. Thanks to our Crazy Ralphs, Bell's Fancy Creation, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And, of course, thanks to our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
Part I have nothing. What are you talking about?
No, we're not ready for that yet. And if you want to become a member and support the DCS, check out deathcursesociety.com and head on over to the membership tier and figure out what you like and what we like. And let's get it on. That's all I got.
We got to do a Fulci. We got to do something Fulci in the design department. Actually, we are kind of doing that with the Angelo stuff. The next one. We're working on dialing in the design for the next Fulci shirt.
The next one's up there for approval.
Okay, cool. As long as the design, I want Angelo to see it. He asked if he could see it.
We need to, yeah.
And but he's on it too. But you guys, you know what it is. I'm not going to tell you. You know what it is. It's the one you want. So we're going to get it to you. And that's about it, man. Silvia Collatina. Wow.
Yes. Tarek, we're still on for tomorrow night. This was a bonus episode.
Bonus coverage for our homeboys and girls. Yeah.
All right. That's enough for me because I got to go.
Yeah, you got to get going your thing. And
if you know, you know.
I got a 1.2 gram joint outside waiting for me to celebrate. And we will see y'all tomorrow night.
DCS out.
For the Zigzag, for the Phase, for the Colonel. We are Death Curse Society. We'll see you tomorrow night. And DCS out. Woo!
Glass.